is up, my beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for tuning in with me today. As y'all can tell by the title, we are now on episode 2 of The Wreck. I'm recording this before I even upload it, so I don't even know how y'all feel about it, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm enjoying it from what I'm getting from the story, and I really want to see how all this pan out and all my little thoughts and theories that I had in the first episode. I want to know if that's going to be the case in this episode. So you already know, if you didn't see the first episode, this video it will be very story driven. We're listening to a story and we're just hearing everything out. I haven't got much gameplay into it, if there is any, but it's okay. So you can put this on while you're probably like cleaning your house, preparing for bed. You know, just put it on the TV. Make sure you like, even if you're on the TV, computer, mobile, tablet, iPad, whatever. Like the video up, all right? That lets me know if you guys are enjoying the story regardless. So yeah, I think that's all I needed to say for the start of that. Y'all just grab your water and grab your snacks, unless you're, busy doing other stuff like I stated prior. And we're just gonna get into this game, all right? Let's go. Let's get back in a story real quick. Get the tea. Okay, so we left off with okay, yeah. I'm gonna say it didn't leave off with the words that I saw last, so got confused. I'm like, where did they save me at? But we left off with pretty much Junon and her sister Diane having a talk, and they decided they were going to come up with a plan together to, figure it out with their mom. So I'm just gonna press resume writing, and it's gonna go back into story. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be talking still, so yeah. Interior hospital cafeteria table. Okay.
All right, so what do we do?
I have no idea, but I'm not going to tell her that right now. I need to find a different tack.
So how are we going to approach this, y'all? So it says, you know your mother, and it says right now there isn't much we can do. I mean, I'm not really clear on what the doctor wanted us to do. They said make a decision, so I'm pretty sure they're talking about like let her live or take her off the machine that's keeping her alive, so to speak. But I don't want to say you know your mother. You know what? Let's just say you know your mother.
You know your mother. She's stubborn, a real trooper. So, I think we will have to wait and see.
Okay.
I can't. No, I just can't. I'm not going to sit here twiddling my thumbs.
We don't have a
like
choice,
that.
Jen.
Of course we do. We need to stay on top of the doctors. They need to do their absolute best. Come to think of it, we're not keeping her in this hole. I'll call my dad. I'll bet he'll have a buddy in a private clinic somewhere. We're not leaving anything to chance. Why aren't you saying anything? You're with me, right? We need to fight, don't we?
I don't know, Jen.
You sound unsure
What do
yourself,
you mean?
girl.
I don't know, Diane. If we were in her place, you know very well what she'd be doing. She'd do everything in her power to make sure we pulled through. We owe her that as well, don't we?
I
She
can't
seemed
take any
very
more
unsure.
illusions of control.
Oh, wait, what was that? I missed what the word says. You can't always do something, you know. Make sure there's nothing else I can click on.
You can't always do something, you know? Running around all over the place, yelling at doctors won't help her just because we think it will. It doesn't work that way. It never does. Sometimes you just need to let go.
Let go? Let go of what?
See, Diane, maybe this is why Marie chose me. She knows that I can keep a cool head.
Right, and I'm about to say,
That I
she
don't
lost
let
her
my emotions
child.
take over.
I'm assuming her
shit.
child, right? Astrid.
You think this isn't your emotions doing the talking? You go on and on saying that mom is the worst mother ever. Do you seriously not think you share some of the blame?
What? What do you mean?
You know very well what I mean. She could have died in that car.
Marie was also in the
Hi.
car that day. You remember my little phone?
Oh, with Astrid?
I can't remember why. She was going to town for an errand, I think. I parked in front of her house. She sat in the front, and then... She was by my side when I woke up in the hospital. Jan's right. Marie could have died, and the doctor said that this sort of thing can happen due to trauma from years ago.
I don't like like how Deanne always making it seem like
So
I'm
it's
the
all my
problem
fault then?
with every little thing,
Are you
right?
saying that? All of this is happening because of me?
Of course not. But since the accident, she's given you work. She's done her best to help you. And you just want to let her die? Shit, I'm not going to give up on her. If you hate her, that's your problem.
You're out of your damn mind.
Come on. You're so transparent.
Shut up! I don't want to hear any more of this. I'm leaving.
Well, here we go with our flashback. Freak out.
Damn it! Did I really have to go off like that? Maybe she's right. Maybe we should fight, just like Marie taught us.
But wouldn't that... See, I'm kind of confused because they're
I
like...
really have to be so
Hold on.
angry. Do I really hate my mother?
They're like, leave it up to chance, but it's like... I feel like if you guys let the doctors do their job and just know that she's gonna pull through. Are we back on this flower again? I mean, this little thingy again? Y'all know she's gonna pull through, then it's kind of just like, y'all are fighting? In a sense? We back on this? What we miss? What's this?
When will Dad get here?
He'll get here when he gets here. Soon. Don't worry.
I can't wait. Tomorrow we're visiting Buckingham Palace, and Lizzie says I'll get to taste real fish and chips and... Oh, sorry, Junon.
I've never really been jealous of Diane's family. I was too fascinated by the concept of a family. That was an incredible discovery for me, and so beautiful to see. I was also worried for her. She had a dad and a stepsister. She had something to lose. I only had Marie, and Marie is immortal. So, I was safe.
See, why she talk like... Like, they don't have the same... Like, they don't... You know what I mean? Like, that's not her mom, too, even though she said that's her mom. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too hard. Okay, what we looking for? What we looking for? Hmm? Okay. Let's keep going. Nothing. I feel like it's gonna be when she's getting put back in the water. Oh,
So,
nope.
why do you put the elastic bands round their claws? Is it so they don't cut your fingers?
I appreciate the concern, but no, ma'am. Without the bands, they would just eat each other.
When the guy said that, my mind jumped to my mother. She used to warn me about people and how dangerous they could be. Even me, she said. Don't trust me. Trust no one but yourself. Ah, it was exhausting.
Lighter. I can't get it. Get in. There we go. I'm about to get in there. The car. We see more and more further progression of this car accident. This is back to be with Sasha because she said don't trust her. Yeah, well, I still want that tea. What you and Sasha was in that room doing? I'm just. Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Strong.
I'd forgotten how muscular you are.
And are you jealous?
No, I like it.
All right, Junon. You're my sister. This is super embarrassing.
I was about to say.
Especially
What?
since you're drunk off your ass.
I've always found Diane's presence comforting. She only has to stand by me and I start to breathe easier. It's funny how you forget the obvious stuff as time goes by.
Oh, there's more in here. Oh, wait, what's this?
You see,
Here.
my little dear, there are some things I'd have loved the chance to tell you. For starters, growing up means figuring out what you really care about and what you're better off without. I never understood why the whole world was such a threat to Marie. It damaged me
Marie.
growing up that way. Now, I've had enough. Jan has always been a reassuring presence in my life. Although I never knew how to tell her, we had completely different lives. We're not affected by the same things, but I hope it's not too late to tell her that I care about her.
Rewind. I wanna know what's gonna be the next
We owe her that as well, don't we?
kind of thing that popped up.
She's terrified, actually. My little sister. I need to comfort her. Show her that I'm here for her. That she's not alone. You know what? Right about now, there's nothing we can do for Marie. Nothing at all.
But
I know this bothers you, and I understand. But that's how it is. It's out of our control. So I'd rather pay attention to what matters the most. Family.
And that's what exactly?
It's you.
Me and you.
You're my family, Jen.
What about Mom?
Marie is different. That's just how she is. She's... Sure, we're part of her life, but we can't expect much more than that. Marie, she's alone against the world. I think she'd be furious if she knew she was surrounded with Jesus stuff. This is a former
Jesus
charity hospital. It's not holy ground anymore, but the new owners apparently thought it wouldn't hurt to keep a few statues around. I guess this is as good a place as any to hope for miracles. After all, whether she admits it or not, Mom has one thing in common with the biblical Mary. Both of them had a child whose father was shrouded in mystery, which makes me baby Jesus? I'd prefer not to end up dead on a cross, though.
That's why I was wondering where her dad is.
Considering what she's been through. As a kid, I mean.
What is she talking about?
You zoned her out, girl. Oh, we really gonna ask what are you talking about? Well, she's been talking this whole time.
What are you talking about? How do you know what she went through as a kid? Did she talk to you?
Once. One night. I didn't really understand. Her dad left when she was like 12 years old. She basically raised her brothers and sisters on her own.
Hold on, what? She has brothers and
Wow.
sisters?
You don't know nothing about your
I
mom.
guess so. And she's the oldest. And at some point, she burned bridges with everyone. Forever.
Oh, wow. Did I know this? I kind of remember, but it feels like a blur. Have we talked about this before? Did I forget that too?
Seems that way, girl.
That's not what's important right now. You know, Jan, I don't think that Marie has anyone. Not really. She doesn't want to. She can't. She doesn't know how to trust.
True. That is the one thing that's beyond her reach.
But it's not beyond ours. We need to trust each other, otherwise we're screwed. You understand?
Of course I understand. I've spent years trying to get her to pay attention to me. And I don't feel like fighting all the time. Not against you, anyway.
We don't have to anymore.
What? You mean, now that she's fucking dying?
No, I mean, we can decide to do things differently. We don't
are
have
you
to
gonna
play
ask
by her
me?
rules, where everyone's out for everyone. Kill or be killed. I think that's... I don't know. It might be her history, but it doesn't have to be ours. I'm not even sure she even believes it herself, actually. I'd rather believe that there are people I can always count on. And that they can count on me because I love them and I care for them. People like you, Didi-Doo.
Dee-dee-doo. Oh, she's crying.
Crying?
I think Dan just want to
Sorry.
feel loved.
I don't know what's going on with me. I'm scared, you know? For Mom. I don't want her to die.
Well, right now, she's still alive. And you know her, she's not going down easy.
What contact do I have, child?
I don't think you're anything
I'm
like a
not
lobster. I think lobsters are disgusting.
Is that right? Me too, come to think of it.
What is this?
Ugh, crap.
What?
Work?
Is it the doctors?
No, look.
Alex,
What?
you should answer.
Are you sure? Are you gonna be okay?
Ask me again
her
and I'll slap
ex-husband.
you. Of course
Oh,
I'll
wow.
be okay. You're coming right back, aren't you?
You bet I am, Dee.
Do I click to answer? Oh, okay.
I don't know
Alex.
what would have happened between your dad and I if you were still here. Would we have agreed on how to raise you? The kind of values to impart?
I don't know if I want to hit agreed or values. I think I'm gonna go values because it seemed like Juju got a little head on her shoulders, and I don't know much about the girl's dad or her ex-husband Alex.
Respect others, be curious and open-minded, and try to beautify the world. At your age,
Beautify.
that mostly meant avoid picking your nose in public. I don't think we would have had any trouble getting along in the end. We were on the same wavelength. I trusted him 100% from the first day I met him. He's got that little something in his eyes. This uncanny kindness that's always there.
God damn it, you know.
Okay, pretend I didn't say anything, huh? Hello, Alex. How are you doing, Alex? Oh, I'm so glad to hear from you, Alex.
Did you take it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I know exactly what he's talking about. I just have no desire to talk about it right now.
The house. Astrid's dollhouse. It used to be in my office and now it isn't. And I need it for work. I'm using it as a reference for level design.
Can I call you later? Hold on, where am I right now? I guess I
Hospital.
wandered into a decommissioned part of the hospital. Ooh, it's kind of spooky.
No, you cannot call me later. It's easy.
He said,
Just tell me
"Girl."
if you have it. It will take 2 seconds.
Your dad is getting on my nerves. I'm sorry, but it's true. All right, Alex, listen. Okay, come on, keep your cool. Try and be mindful.
Tell him that your mom in the hospital. I have no idea where the house is. I'm gonna hang up now. I mean, well, she says she knows what he's talking about. I don't know. Don't have me choose. Like, it can't be a timer and be like, da 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 da. Okay, I think I'm gonna go. Part of me want to say I'm gonna hang up now, because I feel like she has a lot going on. But then at the same time, it's just like, should we just lie about it and just be like, I don't know where the house is? Because all he can do is call back, you know, if she hang up. Come on, let's just
I
nip
have
it in
no
the bud.
idea
Let's
where
just do
that
it.
house
Let's just
is.
do it.
And since we're talking about last week, actually, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have showed up unannounced.
Look at that.
I
We're
don't
trying
know
to
what
be a
came
better
over me.
person.
What does that mean? Wasn't it nice to see each other again?
You and I never got to talk about some stuff. The birds and bees, how grown-ups cuddle. Although we did have the chance. But I was never comfortable with the idea.
Don't go with the
One
chance.
time, you were maybe 3.5, and Alex's parents came over for lunch. We didn't see them much. Alex and them weren't very close. Anyway, we were having an aperitif, and you barged into the room shouting, "I am the knight of the purple sword!" Your sword came from a closet in our bedroom. You liked it because it vibrated when you pressed a button. Alex's mom spit out her martini, and I was riven with shame. I should have seized the opportunity as a teachable moment, you know, positive reinforcement.
So I want to know how old was her daughter when they got into that car accident? Because at this, they telling that story, she was 3.
It was very nice. But it was also completely stupid.
Don't say that. Why are you saying that?
You know why? We can't be doing this. Things are different between us now.
They don't
They
have
hooked
to
up
be.
or something.
Things could even be better.
Stop it.
You know I'm right. Deep down, you know it. Everything that
Go
happened
back.
to us.
Get back
It
with
helped
Alex,
us.
girl.
There was a reason. Maybe all of this means we are supposed to come back together. Stronger.
Bullshit.
Why?
What about Pauline?
Pauline
Who's
is
Pauline?
great.
Hold on.
I'll talk to
Hold
her.
on.
It will be hard, but she'll understand.
Now he about
What
to
will
leave
she
Pauline.
understand? That your
for
crazy
me.
ex has suddenly decided to return after dumping you, after she killed your...
Don't even go there.
That's a really stupid idea, Alex. People don't change. And you know how I am.
I do. I've known since day one.
He was about to leave his new girl for you, girl. He like you the day we
met in high school, as juniors. It feels like a lifetime ago. We only had one class in common. Film studies. And we had completely opposite tastes. But I immediately liked something about him. His high-speed internet. Hey, back in the day, it was a precious gift. Especially in our podunk town. All of a sudden, you could pirate movies from all over the world. A dream. We spent hours on end in Alex's bedroom. I'm sure his parents thought we were having sex. They were a charming couple, always smiling. They let Alex do whatever he wanted. I was super jealous. We watched tons of movies, lying on his bed, chomping on candy. I was obsessed with film. It felt like discovering a new world. And when I requested a boring 3-hour movie, the next day, we would play a video game. Actually, it's not as lame as it sounds, I promise.
Don't you think about it? Don't you miss it?
Oh, I thought by the time he told that
Don't you
story,
want
I was gonna
everything
able
to be
click.
just like before?
I think...
Oh, they didn't even let me click it. Nothing that's gonna pop up? Okay.
Yes, I think I do.
It's not too late.
You have to leave Pauline. Pauline.
You really think so?
I know so.
Uh-oh, she
I'm
has to
on
hop
my
in her
way
car.
then.
Oh,
Like,
just like that.
now?
He said, I'm on my way.
Yes?
I'm on
Shouldn't
my
I?
way.
Yes. Yes, come over.
Wait for me,
Yes,
I'm coming.
Yes, come over here. Okay, so that means while she on her way, you texting Pauline, right? And ending it with her, right? Why not? Oh, we about to get the
After all,
backstory on her.
why
Alex.
not? Maybe he's right.
Let's see what was in this card that could symbolize him. Maybe
I was
the
just
water bottle?
wrong about all this. That wouldn't be the first time I screwed up. The three of us were so happy together. Maybe Alex and I can still be happy?
Stupid deer move. What was that? Looked like a deer. Okay. The pills? Could it be the pills? Oh, look at speeding up. The toothbrush? Is it? It's in my focus, but these are all things you can leave at someone's house. Oh, what's this? The hero with 1,000 faces. There was a lot of stuff that came into our view.
You know, my little fawn, in life, you only have two ways out. Either escaping
Is that her
or
hair? Right there?
disappearing.
Yeah, he's sitting there. Oh no, that's her.
But sometimes, you're unable to disappear. And escaping from yourself, well, that sure ain't easy.
Look at all the fun. This must be after asking. My bad, y'all. And I've knocked my phone down and knocked the camera out. Okay.
In your opinion, what's left to do? We can try to find out together if you want.
Now we got to go back in. Nothing. Oh, what was that? Why did I not controlling it? Why did it flash like that? That scared me. Okay. We're going through. Going through.
When
there,
Jan and I
terrifying.
were little, Mary would tell us bedtime stories. She would make up animal fables with all kinds of mystery and conflict. Savage world, she called it. Female
Marie
wolves,
was hurt in
bears,
her
or
life,
scorpions
y'all.
would find themselves in imminent danger, but they could always manage it on their own, swindling and betraying the boorish, idiotic males. Marie wanted us to be strong, courageous, and independent women. Except, it also made me a bit fearful of the world.
I can imagine. Like she was teaching them. Like, I mean, nothing wrong with being cautious and, you know, to keep yourself from being gullible and naive and falling for a lot of things that you don't have to fall for. Nothing wrong with that. But I also feel like it she didn't balance it.
Alex
you
gifted
know?
me most of these books. It started as a joke, but as time passed, there were more and more. It goes
What's a
back
joke?
to the
Let me
film
in.
studies days. In high school, we barely knew one another. The teacher had prompted us to write a few scenes from a comedy, and I couldn't do it. And then one morning, your dad gave me a book and told me, check this out, since you're so not funny. Bring the funny, the essential companion for the comedy screenwriter. It made me laugh. And, well, truth be told, I was charmed that he cared about me. So I read his dumb book, and believe it or not, the next few scenes I wrote were really funny. But then it turned into a habit. Every time I had an issue, Alex would find the book to address it. Some of the worst titles, too. How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
That is my book. I
Who
love
Moved
that
My
book.
Cheese? I was reading them casually, but they still helped me move on. Alex would call it the emergency library. Every problem has a book, he said. But when I found myself alone, the library didn't work anymore.
The glass drop. Nothing. Nothing for that. Okay. What's this?
At first,
Alive.
I stayed in the apartment for days. I wouldn't go outside. I barely recognized my own voice when I opened the door for food deliveries. I could have disappeared. No one would have known. Yet, amid the silence, if you listen carefully, you can hear some things. The air traveling through the lungs, the bowels gurgling, the teeth grinding, even a heart beating.
Nothing. I think I see something coming up on the side of her right here. I know that's just how the thing looked.
That much is clear now. In fact, Alex and Marie are like two sides of the same coin for me.
Let's get more information
Alex
on Alex.
was my crutch, my unwavering support. I came to believe that I would crumble without him. Marie was a model of strength, of courage, and determination. Everyone admires her, but she is completely unattainable. And I was dependent on her as much as him. Unable to manage on my own, but that was before.
Before the accident? Whatever that thing that shot up there earlier, where's that? What are words? Look up. Oh, we not getting the words? Oh, there we go. Alone.
I guess you understand now, my little fawn. Your dad and I separated. And for the first time in my life, I was living alone. At 34 years old, I had no idea how to do that. And he didn't fix everything. But come to think of it, it may be the reason I began looking for who I really was.
What's this? That's supposed to go back in? Yeah, I'm going back in. I ain't see. So maybe hold on. I'm gonna go back this way first. Let's reverse. Put everything back together. There we go. Boxes. Excuse me. I don't want to see your shoes. Trying to get to the box. Am I supposed to get closer? Hold on. Oh, wait. We got a lot going on. I don't know where to go. Let's go to boxes first. Oh, insomnia. Wow, we got a lot. We ain't going back in the TV. Hold on. Even though that's probably where they want me to start.
From the day you died, I had been sleeping a lot. I was still tired when I woke up, but at least you'd passed the time. Then everything changed. Sleeplessness kicked in. I spent my nights trying to understand, what am I still doing here?
Well, let's go back in the TV. Nothing. Okay. There's nothing in the TV. We gotta get to them boxes. We got the fiction right here.
I think I just figured out why I love movies so much. When I was a teenager, my life didn't seem real. I couldn't say for sure that I existed, but in movies, people had pure and intense emotions. I loved that. Any fiction was a documentary to me. When I found myself alone, I fell back into that zone. I watched hundreds of movies, obscure comedies, blockbusters, absurd schlock. I was looking for a template that would explain to me how to feel. Except it didn't work this time. I needed more.
Okay, let's get to these boxes. I think I can. I'm trying to click it from this point, but it's not letting me. Yeah, it's not even like getting solid. Which way do I supposed to go? Tell me, game. Hold on. Maybe I could get it.
I lived surrounded with cardboard boxes for months. I was unable to open them. It was physically impossible, but it didn't bother me much. I've never been a homemaker anyway. Also, if I had an off day, I could always blame it on those boxes. Instead of blame it on the life that was put away in those boxes.
Okay. We went over the books. But what mug?
Do you remember this cup? Every morning you would drink your hot cocoa from it. I had to take it out of the dishwasher so many times. You wanted nothing else. It was in a box for a while. I thought about it sometimes when I thought about you. It was there. One day I pulled it out of one of the boxes. I wanted a hot cocoa, and it slipped out of my hands.
Oh. Her memory. Oh my god, I hate how...
My heart skipped a beat in that moment. I held my breath for 1 second. And then... nothing. I just picked up the pieces one by one and threw them in the garbage. I wondered whether I was a monster for not feeling devastated. But now I know that I'm not. I stayed strong. And it turns out that being able to do that changed everything. That day I realized that I was strong and that I could do it alone. Then I understood. I turned on my computer and I started typing. Not a soap opera episode like I was writing before you died. It was something personal. And I think it was important. A movie script. A beautiful,
what we
kind of sad
now?
Story. It could be a nice feature if I ever finish it one day. I was surprised to feel the desire to write, but now I understand how priceless it was. It allowed me to switch roles. I was no longer the grieving mother, or the young divorcee, or the daughter of. I was writing. I was becoming an author. I was inventing a reality that was just as valid as another.
We're back here. What's the word? Nothing? From the ground.
You know, I was telling the truth earlier when I said that there were only two ways out in life. But whether you escape or disappear, in the end you're doing the same thing. Now I understand that I had to find another way. And complete solitude allowed me to face the void and to rewrite myself. It was the only way for me to change completely. From the ground up.
Start over. Reflect.
Don't you want everything to be just
Oh,
like
what's about to
before?
change? No. Oh, she
Alex
gotta
and
start
I
from the
can
ground up.
reinvent ourselves. I know that we can. But that's going to require a lot more work. I would love for things to work out that way, Alex. Just like in the
It's not
movies.
gonna be the same. They have
But the
to
scene when
focus
they
and
get
work on
back together,
themselves.
the happy end, we all know that's not happening. Too bad.
Cheers.
You're at least as sexy as Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
Can we see
and I
him?
definitely have better abs.
I noticed that the other day. Is that new?
See? You're missing out.
I'm sorry things ended the way they did between us. I left because I was losing my bearings. And I felt like you were also going off track. You know, trying to convince us that we would be okay.
I was trying to help you.
That's the problem.
I didn't. You can have.
You couldn't have. I was too sad. I was unable to listen. I couldn't keep leaning so much on you. I couldn't
Right.
stand it. I had reached a breaking point. If I didn't make a big change, I would have... But I was not allowed to die. I had no right. So I tried living.
Without you.
All the people who matter to me have something in common. They all taught me that I could live without someone else. Marie taught me that I could live without a father, that I could exist as a woman in a world created for men. But she never taught me what it was like to be loved. Alex taught me that I could live without Marie. All of a sudden, I was worth more than I thought, and she much less than I thought. But what
about
he
Diane?
loved the most about me was that he could be there for me. I don't hold it against him. We are who we are. He loved me, but he didn't help me love myself. And then you were there, and you taught me the
daughter.
most important thing. You taught me that I could live, even without Marie, even without Alex, even without you.
No.
Without you.
You know, I changed too.
I believe you,
How you
Alex.
change?
So don't you think it may be a good time to try again?
We can't try again if we're strangers to each other.
Wow, that's a Nobel Wisdom Prize right there.
That's not even a thing.
Exactly.
You know... Oh, I don't know if I should tell him this, but...
So your mom in the hospital? I miss you. I'll say I will always love you. Cause I mean, I miss you. They talking right now. It's I easily contact each other. She was just at his house. I think they did some things, but you know. But yeah, I'll just say I will always
I
love
will
you.
always love you. And
Yeah, Whitney
oftentimes
Houston.
I think to myself that we
Whitney
could
Houston.
start something new. We'd hop in the car and road trip through Ardèche. I would take off my flip-flops and rest my bare feet on the dashboard. And you would yell at me because that's nasty.
That is definitely nasty.
Oh, nastier than your damn Tupperware up in the fridge?
Nastier than your clumps of hair in the bathroom sink.
Look, they still love each
probably
other. Look
not.
at that.
But then I realized that all of these are memories. Some are good, many are, but some are dreadful. Those memories with you, they're too much to handle. Which means I don't have a choice. I have to leave it all behind. You
You gotta
understand?
start over, Alex. So you stay with Pauline.
What about last week?
Look,
That was last
Alex,
week. We talking about today.
I
Alright,
don't want
focus
to
on the
hurt
present.
him, but...
Oh, that's besides the point. I'm gonna hang up now. Oh no, I feel like. Well, I'm gonna hang up now. I have 3 dots, so something continuing on. But that's besides the point. Kind of line up with what I said. That was last week. We talking about today. Things change. People change. Feelings change too. I'm gonna say that's besides the point.
That's
I'm not gonna hang
besides
up
the
in his
point.
face. We gotta have a
I don't know
proper
why I
goodbye.
did what I did. I don't even know why I went to your house.
Because you wanted to see me.
It's true. I'm telling you, I have no idea why I went. Maybe it was out of habit? I think that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with Alex. His way of figuring stuff out has always fascinated me.
I'm gonna say figure
I
stuff
couldn't
out.
figure out a character's story arc. He figured it out. I couldn't get in touch with producers. He figured it out. I couldn't live without you. He figured it out. Or he tried. I believe that's why I went to see him last week. So he could figure it out for me. Except I didn't even know what my problem was on that day. If only it were that simple. Anyway, it was really stupid, and I probably hurt you.
Come on, June, stop that. Last week you were happy. For the first time since I can remember.
Are you gonna tell this man your mom
What
in the
would
hospital?
you know? We haven't seen each other in months.
That is true. And it wasn't my call. You're the one who left. And I respected your choice. I learned how to live without you. And you showed up on my doorstep out of
He
fucking
upset.
nowhere? What am I
He
supposed to
mad.
think?
Yeah, he's totally right about that.
You playing with his emotions, girl.
I'm sorry, Alex. I truly am. I know you're angry, and...
I'm not angry.
But
I'm
I was in a
disappointed.
bad place. I didn't know what to do.
I
I
don't
needed
know. I thought
to
that's what
see
you was gonna say.
someone.
Why not your sister then? Or call a girlfriend? Even your
Don't got
mother
a
for that
friend.
matter.
Oh, my mom in the
I-
hospital.
You came to see me
Tread lightly.
because I know what you are feeling. I understand your pain. Don't you think?
No, I don't think so.
I just clicked it. I definitely
You don't
clicked it.
understand anything.
I mean,
Well,
why
if
she
you
acting like
really
he didn't lose a
understand,
child
then
too?
why do I... Why the hell do I feel so alone?
Yeah, I don't know why you feel alone. I don't know, like, where was he in your grieving process? But you also said he was trying to figure, like, be
No
there
one
for
can
you, but
understand what I feel.
you
Ever.
pretty much didn't want that.
No one can tell me how to live with this, how to do this. It's a gaping hole in the fabric of life, and living with that big a hole in you is...
Why sound like she
it's
whispering
impossible.
now? It's the lowest I heard her ever talk. But yeah, like, see, I don't like how they, like, certain story points feel like it's contradicting each other a bit. Like, I understand you have to figure stuff out on your own. You can't rely on everybody to always do stuff for you, because then who would you be and who would your identity be and all that good stuff. But it's also like, if he said he was trying to be there for you and you said he was trying to be there for you, you know, you was feeling alone based off of just your own inner feelings, you know? Let's keep watching and listen to the story, y'all.
Do you
getting
remember
juicy.
your dollhouse?
Oh, look, it's Alex.
Marie gave
This
it
Ryan
to you.
Gosling?
She had built it herself in
Okay.
secret. It was
Okay.
really detailed. There were even miniature figurines of Alex and I for you to play
Oh,
with.
okay, that's figurines. Tell
Of
me,
course you
so I'm
remember.
like,
You took to it immediately. You were making up all kinds of stories about daily life where you were the hero.
why he still sitting like that? Are we still in a dollhouse?
It's true.
There's a dollhouse
I
in
did
a
it.
dollhouse.
I stole your house from Alex and threw it away. I
Why
don't
you
know
do
why.
that?
Could you forgive me?
She
If I
said
had
she
a
don't know
really
why.
good reason?
I think she's just trying to there's a picture of Pauline in the dollhouse.
This is Pauline, your father's new girlfriend. Actually,
Yeah,
we've known her since high school, but
Now
I
he
haven't
dated a
seen her
high
in a
schooler.
while. When I went to Alex's house, I was kind of hoping I would get to see her. I was curious. She's a great girl, you know. I'm sure your dad will be happy with her. To be honest, I always wondered why he picked me over her back then.
So you think he had eyes for her to begin
Your
with?
dad is still
Work.
making video games, but he quit the big company he used to work for. Now he's making a game on his own. I don't know much about it. I think it's about you.
I like how they went on from high school to go after like the stuff they were interested in. It's like she was watching movies at his house, and then when she picked a movie, the next day they played video games, and that was his interest. So that's pretty cool.
In a way,
About you.
every game he ever worked on talked about you. The games you were playing together actually gave him tons of ideas for his work.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Alex had gotten rid of that house when he cleaned out your room. After you passed,
Can I get
never
more on
wondered
this?
where it was. I just forgot about it. Some people say that the dead haunt houses. I was afraid that you would haunt that one. Afraid
Girl, you did
to
not
hear your voice
have to take that
if I
dollhouse.
stared at it for too long.
Especially if it wasn't in your
Alex moved
possession.
into this place with his new girlfriend about a year ago. He looked happy. Suburban homes aren't my thing, but I was relieved that he had finally left the apartment where the three of us had lived.
So you went to his house and had, well, she didn't make him cheat on his girlfriend because it's a choice. You all have own choice and you all have free will. Do I hear a garbage truck? Am I going backwards? I think I'm going back in, guys. But yeah, she didn't make him do anything, but it's just kind of fact that, like,
When I learned that Alex and Pauline were moving in together,
interesting.
I thought he had turned the page. Do you want to know what I felt? It's complicated. I think I was impressed. Once more, your father had demonstrated that he was stronger than me, and I'd like to say that I was happy for him. But in truth, I envied him.
Because he moved on. Oh wait, let me go deep into the house again. I think I'm starting over from the beginning. Oh, that's as far as they letting me go. Okay. Okay. I didn't even peep that.
He started doing
That's
it
why
at
he was
work,
looking like that.
just so that he could meet his deadlines. Sometimes we did it together
Crazy.
at parties for fun. Oh, all right, I know
Well,
it's bad,
excuse me.
but when we knew that you were coming, we stopped. And that's why I was surprised to see some at his place last week. He tried to hide it, but I laughed in his face. I'm not his mom. Still, though, I thought to myself it was a bad sign.
And you came over there, and he over there going through it, and then you came over there adding more to go through it. Now Pauline about to go through it. It's like everybody just go see Ivana, whatever her
Your
name
father
is.
had everything. A new girlfriend, a nice house, his life on track. Meanwhile, I was over here toiling,
Teasing.
slowly crawling out of the hole. And I needed to see him so he could comfort me. Just like before. I thought he owed me that.
Wow, what'd he do?
I
What was
pictured
he-
Alex alone in his office, using his job as an excuse to play with your house. I found that pitiful. That didn't fit at all with the idea I had of him, always moving forward, never moping around. And then I realized that maybe he wasn't telling me everything about his feelings.
What was boiling on the pot? Did she take this house so he can get over it, like move past it? Because once again, this house was not in her home, so it wasn't bothering her. She took it last week when she visited him.
Perhaps I threw away that house because I was mad at Alex. His whole stuck in nostalgia thing, I found it incredibly offensive.
Girl, why you bother him?
Perhaps I threw away that house because I was jealous of Alex's new life. In fact, I might have wanted to show your father what he was losing by losing us.
She got a lot going on. We going back in? Okay, we're going back in, y'all. Let's see how far they let me go. Pauline. Okay, I go to the silence. Oh, wrong way. Here we go.
Alex looked gaunt. Not just because of the blow, it was like he'd been crying. I tried
Him and
to
Pauline
talk to
already
him,
broke
ask
up.
him how he was doing. He just dodged the question. So I insisted, but he said he wanted to show me something, and he started a video game. Something called Night Call. A murder mystery noir where you play a taxi driver. It
That
was
sounds
really
interesting.
good, but it's hard to have a conversation with a controller in your hands.
Mm. Are we going back out? Right here? No?
Perhaps I threw away the house to shake up Alex, to get a reaction from him, so he could be mad at me, so he could snap out of his lurch.
Cause you want him to like, cause y'all saw he was about to basically end things with Pauline, so he can get back with Miss Juju over here. So, are we going back inside? We're free.
We had a
They
great night in
did.
the end. We drank beers, we played, we laughed. And after a while, he asked me what I was doing there. Really, I thought about telling him the truth. But instead, I kissed him. I don't know what came upon me. He kissed me, and more. It was very nice. Much more intense than it used to be before. And it made me want to cry because that was way too late.
This family got a lot going on.
Perhaps
I
I
love
threw away
him.
that house because that was my gift to him. Perhaps I thought he needed this old relic out of his life. Like he
See,
needed me out
I
of
knew
his
that's
life.
what she was thinking about.
I'm sure all of that contributed to my reaction, to a certain extent. I was jealous, a bit petty, conflicted, and on top of that, I was a dollhouse thief. But there was something else, something that really hurt me, and that I'm only understanding now. I was ashamed.
Oh, we going back in. We been going in and out. Back to when they was on the bed. No? Oh, right there.
I came to demand support from Alex. I thought it was unfair that he was already happy again. But when I came across that dollhouse, I realized that he missed you
Yeah, he
as much as I did, which is actually why I threw it away. That's the
I
reason
figured.
the dollhouse was proof that for years I had been blinded. I was ashamed to only realize now that he too was hurting.
That's it. This
I
game is a
understand
very
your pain,
much a look
don't you
within
think?
yourself type of game. He's hurt
How?
too.
How is this possible? How did I not realize that he was hurting too? And how
He
come
was
he never
stuck in
told
your
me about
world.
it? Well, how about you, Alex? Should we talk about that?
What? What do you mean?
How many times have we talked about Astrid together? About her death? Dozens of times? Hundreds, maybe?
That's because we needed to.
I needed that. That was the only thing I could talk about, and Alex was always there to listen to me. To check how I'm doing, to inquire about my feelings, to assess my needs, to ask if there was anything else he could do.
Yeah, it's like he was being strong for her because he knew she was hurt, and then it's like when she still left him, she wasn't realizing that because she was in her own emotions. Obviously, who wouldn't be? But it was just like he was trying to keep it together for her. But then when she left, he then was grieving a breakup, the loss of his child. You know what I mean? And now grieving his old life. So yeah,
And
that's a lot.
I never asked him any questions. Not a single one.
Are you sure about that? You're right. I'm not gonna lie, I honestly forgot what he said. I know he said something about we had to talk about it. But I'm just trying to figure out which one of these would coincide back to the fact of what she just went in her own mind to think about. I'm
Are you
just gonna say, are you
sure
sure
about
about that?
that?
What do you mean, am I sure? You were devastated.
So how
And
about
you?
you?
How did
Right.
you feel?
Come on, again with this shit. Pauline is always trying to make me talk to. I don't have
'Cause you
anything to say.
clearly.
What am I supposed to say?
There's no way you never felt the need to talk about those feelings. That whole time when you finally got me to calm down and fall asleep? How did you feel? What did you think?
I don't know. I can't remember. Why are you dragging this up now?
Because I never thought to ask you back then.
Yeah,
Well,
because my mom in the hospital.
that's all right. I'm okay. I was okay. It's not your
He
fault.
was okay.
He's still doing it.
That's how
He's
you
still trying
are.
to protect me all the time. He needs to
This is
understand that
Orb.
things have changed.
This Astrid. Yes, it's my fault.
It is my fault. You were alone with your sadness. But now I'm thinking to myself that it wasn't fair. You know, I just realized something and I'm so ashamed about it. You're hurt too, and that didn't even occur to me until now.
I was thinking about you.
Not about Astrid?
When I was alone at night, I was thinking about what I needed to do to help you get better. That's all I thought about. You needed me. That kept me going. And now that you're no longer here,
I lived in fear of everything for a long time. Fear of making the wrong choice, fear of making mistakes, fear of not being good enough, not smart enough. And Alex was an antidote against all these fears. He was acting like he didn't have wounds of his own. But I knew that he did. One day, for instance, he told me about his parents. They love each other the same as ever. They're very good together. For them, having a child just came as a natural step to their relationship. They were nice, patient, kind. They ticked all the boxes. But in the end, parenting, that wasn't their thing. I think that in spite of their best efforts, they don't give a flying fuck about me. Maybe that's the reason why he, on the other hand, cared so much about us. Maybe your hugs and my kisses were the things that helped him cope.
Another option?
You can take care of yourself. All this energy you expended for me was admirable, but it was also holding you captive. You're free now.
free from what?
Free to face your own emotions and deal with them, to heal your own pain.
Alex about to hang up on
I-
you.
You know, if I ever think too much about her, about how much I miss her,
Go do cocaine.
I have to stop. It makes me dizzy, it scares me. I'm pathetic.
Of course you're not. I understand.
I'm trying to live with it, you know? But missing you on top of missing her, it's too much.
See, look, that was a lot for him.
I need you.
Listen,
Okay.
Alex.
Alex.
How do I tell him?
I'm gonna hang up now. She's about to close this chapter. Oh my god. This one make low-key, I'm not gonna lie, this part right here is getting me a little sad because it's just like I'm
going to hang up now.
I'm just
I
gonna
blew
hang
off
up.
Jan to pick up the phone thinking this was an emergency.
But it is an emergency. I'm sure Diane will understand.
See,
Alex,
look, I
you
like
don't
that.
know.
Fine. The one time I need your help,
Oh, poor guy.
that.
He's about to feel very bad about this. Oh well, that was his dumb choice. Alex, I'm at the hospital.
oh shit. Are you okay? What happened? Or was it Diane?
Don't worry, I'm fine, and so is your dear Diane. It's my mother. She had...
A vasospasm. Relief.
I should be happy that he's relieved, but man, that's harsh. But
You
let's
didn't
be
like
honest,
your mama.
Alex has never been too keen on her anyway. Do you want to know how he described her? The mug of a James Bond villain, the personality of a public restroom, and the pictorial style of a drunken tardigrade. I'm sure he thought that she was being unfair to me, and that annoyed him. So he avoided her as much as possible. The worst part is that she loved him, but he could see right through her. Marie's self-assurance, her way of looking down on everyone. He often told me that he wasn't buying it, that it was pretend. Alex
She probably was trying
didn't
to get
like
with him.
that I wasn't as critical of Marie as he was. He probably thought that I was a bit masochistic. I wasn't. It's just that I'm her daughter, and she is my only mother.
Alex, this is my mother we're talking about. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, even if you don't care for her, you got to still respect the fact that this is my mom. I could possibly be losing her. So let's not just talk ill, you know what I mean?
Alex, this is my mother we're talking about. I mean, sure.
And I'm trying to turn
this
over a
is
new
Marie,
leaf.
but still.
What happened to Our Lady of the Paintbrush? I know it wasn't a hot.
He's still throwing
She
shade.
doesn't have one.
Oh, now Alex.
That doesn't sound like Alex. Not at all.
Alex
What's
is
happening
over
to
it.
him? Is he drunk?
You said you was gonna hang up.
It's a bit early to start drinking.
It's that
Should I be
cocaine.
worried? Or perhaps I shouldn't say anything.
I'm just say I actually don't
I
know.
actually don't know.
Because we don't.
They said
I mean, we
something
do,
about
but
an aneurysm, but I
yeah.
haven't summoned the courage to see her yet.
Scared you'll get an earful?
All right, enough.
Right.
It's not funny, Alex. It's just... It's not funny. It's actually pretty insensitive, which is not like you. Are you okay?
Come on. It's just a joke.
Except nothing is ever just a joke.
Anyway, what do you care if I'm okay?
I mean, I
just
care
have a
about
whole
you.
conversation.
Oh, sorry. Are you
Girl,
doing
just
a
hang
stand-up
up.
routine now?
Just
Hopefully
hang up
that
now at
works
this
out
point.
better than movies did.
Right, I don't know what's going on, but I have no time for this, okay? So I'm just gonna hang up now.
Yeah, you hang up. You can call me anytime, day or night, even show up at my house unannounced. I'm here, no worries. But if it's the reverse, I can go right on to hell.
That's unfair, Alex. I don't...
Girl,
Unfair?
hang up.
Really?
At this point,
Have I ever not been there for you?
What
he's
is that
speaking
supposed to mean?
facts. He's speaking facts, but I feel like you shouldn't have to. Yeah, you shouldn't keep score. Like talking about not anymore. Yeah, I personally don't like when people do that, but he is speaking facts. He was there for you when you needed the most, but at the same time, it's like that's you guys were a couple. You were supposed to be there. But now, if you decided to still keep in contact and still be there for her even after the fact, and allegedly this happened some time ago, based off Deanne 5 years ago. So I feel like after that 2-year mark, especially if you moved on and been with Pauline, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with making sure she good, but it's like showing up, being there. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm being, that's the Leo in me. That's the Leo in me. I don't know. It's just like after a point, I got to cut it off. We can't be mixing and mingling.
Are we keeping score? That's news to me. I never asked you to be there. I don't owe you a thing, okay? Just call Pauline if you're looking for comfort.
That's too easy, Junon. Giving up on me now that you no longer need me.
Alex, it's been almost 2 years since...
What if I had done that to you when Astrid died?
Oh, go fuck yourself, Alex.
Uh-oh, drama. Beef. Right.
What a dumbass! How dare he bring you up in the middle of all this? He never forgave me for what happened, but he's too cowardly to tell it to my face.
Can we really get more into
He's
the telling
right,
of
though.
what happened that day?
I don't know how I would have managed if he weren't there when you... And on top of that, I hold him responsible. I guess I'm an ungrateful bitch, huh?
I was about to say, I didn't see it, but I see it. What we looking at, the toothbrush this time? Nope, toothbrush flew past real quick. Or, nope, let's see. No, it's not the book and it's not the hairbrush. I missing something? Let me look up. Nothing. Is this the real accident? Am I looking outside? What am I missing, y'all? Did I look behind me? No. Y'all, am I slow? Look up. I'm looking down with it. I'm not seeing anything. Okay, do I need to look up what I'm supposed to click on at this point? Oh my god, that's scary. Why wasn't it highlighted? Y'all saw me click that blue thing like 1,000 times. Oh my god.
Of all the stories I know,
That scared me
this
though.
is probably the
Oh
least
look, it's
funny one.
Astrid.
Although it's not like
Did I just see a naked
any
booty?
of these has been particularly fun so far. But sometimes, well, thinking back about darker things does help shine a light on them. And actually, I think this one ends well, all right? I'll tell you this story.
This thing's slowly leaving out. Okay. Is she naked? Like a photo book. Girl, put on some clothes. You didn't even have a butt crack, y'all. Okay, so this is kind of like how we go zooming in and out, but instead, we're just flicking through. Okay, so far no words popped up. So. I'm gonna keep going fast to get back to the beginning. What was that? What was he peeking in to see? He looked creepy. Okay.
Marie was a grandmother who was often angry. As a result, she and Junon did not talk much. It was too exhausting. And then one day, Marie calls.
What? Is this the beginning? Oh, it's not the beginning.
Junon was a mom who had made a huge mistake. She had bruises everywhere, a broken arm, her skull was split. It wasn't a pretty sight, but Alex didn't mind and still took care of her. Junon was quite sure that she didn't deserve it. And then one day, she gets better.
Wait.
Astrid was both a little girl and a very big girl. When she turned 4, she decided she would brush her own teeth. She was so eager to grow up. And then one day, Astrid disappears. Alex was a great dad who took good care of his child. He showered her, cooked her food, invented games for her. Anytime the little girl was home, his deep laughter would shake the house's walls. And then, one day, Alex no longer feels like laughing.
Oh, that's her clothes. It looked like we're going back, seeing the same stuff again. Okay. Did he pack her stuff up, the toys? Like, was this after she passed away? Time passes,
but a big little girl doesn't just disappear. She leaves toys and drawings lying around, and all kinds of fist-sized marks, like tiny little clenched fists punching holes into Junon's heart.
I hope I'm going the right way. That's the only thing that confuses me. Because I'm like, am I re-seeing the same stuff again or am I going the wrong way? Okay, yeah, that's him creeping through the... Okay.
Time passes, and Alex is still standing. He misses his daughter. He misses laughing, too. But he doesn't show it. He's taking care of everything. He cleans up, he cooks, he washes. He wants people to know that he won't crumble down.
So wait, where were your bruises coming from? Because she kind of just brushed over it.
Time passes, and the phone rings. Again, and again, and again.
Marie,
Junon
leave me
doesn't
be.
know what Marie wants, but she can guess. Marie was there when Junon made her big mistake. And if Junon picks up, they'll have to talk about it. Junon can't forgive herself. So the phone rings, and nobody answers. Time passes, and Junon's body fixes itself. The bones
Oh, were the
heal,
bruises from
the bruises
the
fade.
car accident?
Doctors call it a miracle. Junon doesn't agree. But these doctors are no good anyway. They didn't even notice that Junon's heart is strewn all around.
I'm over here hopping to abusive. I forgot she got into a car accident.
Marie keeps on calling. When the accident happened, Marie knocked her head. She looks like she's better now, but
So is that the
Junon is
start
still
of
thinking that she almost killed her. Her
what's
too,
going on with her mom
she
now?
might add, so she's not picking up.
Who knows the story based off the creator's life, or like, or is it just something they created themselves that's in their head? The way it just flicked to that for a second. Nope. It's crazy how like the music stopped. You know, if I missed something, y'all paying attention? I'm supposed to go back. Let me see if I go backwards then. I'm gonna be really upset with myself if I was close. No, let me go. It's not really clear on which way I'm supposed to be going. I've just been going in a loop anyway. But it's not clear when I'm supposed to go back and... Oh, there we go, Alex.
One day, Alex puts away every hint of Astrid into a big box. The apartment seems a bit empty all of a sudden. But it is what it is. And Alex isn't crying.
I think he did that to help her out. I mean, obviously also to help himself. I'm not going to keep saying everything he's doing was just to benefit her. He probably just wanted to help her process as well as help his own process. So I feel like the only thing he probably had left of her was the dollhouse. And who wouldn't go through that away? Junon. I feel like she shouldn't have did that. That wasn't her place to do that. Regardless of how she was feeling. That wasn't her place. That's just like how her sister told her to get over it. And that's kind of feel like that's what she did to him by taking that dollhouse, to be honest. And it's like you shouldn't have did that. Especially if you're gonna call him and say all the stuff that you said on the phone after you took the dollhouse, after showing up to his house unannounced.
Alex wants to rescue Junon from her sadness, wash her hair, cut her nails, spoon feed her. He wants to be the guy you can rely on to walk back home when you're tired. But today, Junon is not walking back.
See, she's saying all that's what I'm not understanding. She's saying all this as if she didn't show up to his house. He moved on. Clearly, he's in a whole new relationship. He moved out of the house. The only thing he had was that dollhouse. And granted, he was spilling all his feelings out towards Junon. But I feel like that only became a trigger for him because she showed up to his house last week. You know? So it's kind of like he probably in the back of his mind he was thinking about her, and you know what I mean? Like, but he's realizing, like, yo, I have to move on with my life type of
Junon
thing. But
doesn't want to be saved.
I don't
Not by
know. She's
Alex.
being weird. I don't
Not
know
by
about Junon
anyone.
no more.
She puts her finger through the candle flame to feel the bite. She wants to hurt, just like that time. Broken bones and ripped up flesh. She's angry that her heart is still beating.
Mm. I want to know what caused the car accident. Like, what was she doing? Was she looking at her phone? Did she get distracted? Like, what happened? What was this?
And then one day... Are you sure you want to know the rest of the story, my little phone?
What happened? What you do to yourself?
I hadn't prepared anything. I was just going to wash up. I had closed the door, taken off my clothes, turned on the shower, and I started crying. I couldn't stop. I couldn't go on. I had medicine for my broken heart,
Oh,
and I decided to swallow it all. Your toothbrush was on the edge of the bathroom sink, which made me think of my very big little girl. Her smile full of toothpaste. I thought that maybe I too could give it a try, but I had forgotten how to.
I'm sorry if I'm sniffling, y'all. My room is cold for whatever odd reason. I have the heat on, but now my nose is like getting a little runny. What we missing? What we missing?
Alex never learned what really happened that day. He panicked because he could no longer hear me, so he broke the
Oh,
door. But he was too late. It was all over already.
those ring, y'all. She took the pills already. What's this on the floor?
I put those little pills in my mouth, and they tasted funny on my tongue. I just needed to swallow them. And right at that moment, the phone started ringing.
Your mama called. You must knew what you was about to do. You know how they say the mama's got that instinct. Let's see if that stop her. Y'all hear my mouse? I'm sorry. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, there we go. Marie.
Marie didn't ask me why I didn't answer the phone for a whole year. She started talking as if nothing happened. I was crying too much, I couldn't answer. So she told me she could wait. And she waited until the last tear was shed. And then she told me something she had never told me. Perhaps
I
one
love
day I
you.
can tell you exactly what it was. But long story short,
Oh,
it meant she loved us very much, you and I. In that moment, I felt like an enormous weight was lifted off of my shoulders, as if she had given me the most beautiful gift. And then she changed the subject, as she does.
she said, "Okay,
She
enough of
had
this
a
mushy stuff."
proposal for me. Her career was taking off, and she needed someone to do the clerical work. She knew I would do it well. She told me, "It's a boring job. I'm not doing you any favors, but you can do me one." I accepted.
Mama, don't call. Was the mirror broken? Mama, don't call me when I'm trying to give me a job offer and I'm over here grieving. But no, she needed that. She probably needed something to get her mind off of it to keep her, you know, because look, that call initially saved her life. Why sound like somebody knocked? And what happened with Alex? It's gonna be Alex or Astrid. Oh,
That's
more.
it, my little fawn. That's the end of my story. If it weren't for Marie, I wouldn't be here to tell you, because she gave me more than words that day. She helped me understand that it was time I made my own decisions. That's the thing I figured out that night. And it changed me for the better. I would no longer rely on others to save me. Not on Marie, not Alex, not anyone else. I couldn't live like that. Not anymore.
Rewind.
Have I ever not been there for you?
Not anymore, brother.
He didn't actually understand. He didn't get the dynamic we had and what it did to us. And me neither, actually. Up until today, I lived some sort of a misunderstanding. But it's over. It's true. You were there. Not just when we lost Astrid, you've always been there. I knew that whatever happened, you'd be there. It's not easy to explain why you fall in love with someone. There was no love at first sight between your father and I. We even lost touch after high school. And still, I went to university in Lyon, and he studied
Lyon?
video games in Angoulême, across the country. We found each other again by chance, 3 years later at a friend's party.
Ooh,
We
Pauline's
talked
party.
all night. It was as if we had never been apart. At some point that night, we started making out. And I immediately knew that it would last. There was something in his eyes.
I'm going with last because clearly
I was
it
really
didn't.
anxious at the time about everything. But when I woke up at his place the next day, for a brief moment, the oppressive feeling had disappeared. It happened again when I saw him the next day, and the day after, and then after
liked
that,
him.
every time we met. In spite of the distance, I felt like I was taking drugs. And it was
What,
really
cocaine?
good.
I'm not gonna let them go. I'm not gonna let it go. I'm gonna say I loved
And I
it. 'Cause
loved
clearly,
it. I didn't have that growing up with
that's what
Marie.
I'm gonna say that's what she was missing.
I felt like you believed in me. You're the only one who made me feel this way. You and Astrid. Yes.
Is she telling him
You
this?
too, my little dear.
I believe in you.
I know. Being with you was a gift. But it had to
Child,
stop.
They so flip floppy.
After Astrid died,
You see, my little fawn? Even when you're gone, you're never very far.
That was a trigger even before. I don't know which one to go with, but I'm gonna say that was a trigger. Yeah, because that's what she told the story. That was the story.
The trigger, yes. When Astrid died, I did what I always do. I leaned on you. You would have the answer. You would know what to do. But
Checked at the call.
But now, though, I understand. This whole time, your poor dad was fishing out corpses. Not literally. Don't worry, I'm not going crazy. It's just, it reminds me of this story I read while doing research for a screenplay. The story of a
story?
guy named Wei Peng, a farmer in the Yellow River Valley who found himself a unique occupation. His cabin is 20 kilometers downstream from Lanzhou, an industrial city that attracts poor folks looking for work. And their life is so terrible that a bunch of them are committing suicide. Lanzhou
Terrible.
is mostly known for its thermal plants, its factories, and the highest level of atmospheric pollution in all of China. That said, There are cities like Lanzhou all around the world. Every morning, Wei Peng grabs his pitchfork, pops into his small boat, and he searches the river. He's looking for bulky and soft lumps. Most of the time, they're goat carcasses. But every now and then, he finds humans. When Wei Peng manages to identify the body, he sells it.
Wow. I sell it.
Otherwise, he buries it.
What's the
Between
sales
500 and 5,000 yuan, depending on the client.
The client? Who
I
the client?
understood why people paid him. It's a horrible feeling not knowing what happened to a loved one. They were purchasing more than a mortal coil. They were purchasing peace of mind. But I didn't get why Wei Peng did it. How can you live with this job? Then I reached the end of the article. His own child died in that river.
Oh.
A kid your age, trying to retrieve a ball in the water.
They really
Wei
trying to make
Peng
me cry,
didn't know how
but
to swim.
I'm gonna hold it together.
He couldn't do anything. And now I understand Wei Peng. Just as I understand Alex. Some people find it easier to alleviate other people's grief than to deal with their own pain head on. Maybe that worked for you, being in that position. As long as you were taking care of me, you wouldn't have to think about yourself or about Astrid.
Maybe I never thought about it that way.
Me neither, you know, I only understand this now.
Okay, then.
Now I'm about to say, what's this? What?
Why? If I thought I was helping you, but actually hurting, why did you come back to see me?
I really
Judge
shouldn't
me.
have. I don't know what came over me.
I was happy to see you again.
Of course, I liked it too. But it also felt like a farewell.
She's standing
Streak
up
to
and
me
sitting
that
down.
was just like before.
Oh, poor Alex.
Alex? Are you still there?
Hang up on her face, Alex. Oh, Alex. Oh no, Alex is gonna make me cry. Stop, Alex. Stop
Marie
it, I
had
say.
this weird rule back home. You only get to cry once.
See what I'm talking about? Her mama crazy.
It didn't matter the reason, from bike falls to headaches to world hunger. She had this theory that there are two reasons one might cry. Either from surprise, when life sucker punches you, or from cowardice, when you give up on fighting back. You only get to cry once from surprise, she used to say. And there is no time for cowardice. Well, I think she forgot that there was a third possibility. Sometimes you cry because you've mustered up the courage to look at life how it is.
If you're crying, I'm gonna cry too. Clearly he's not okay. I don't know which one to pick, honestly, because I'm feeling this. I'm feeling
if you're
this right
crying,
here.
I'm going to cry too.
Exactly.
You'll never beat me at this game. I have a lot of practice.
Oh crap, Junon, I'm so sorry. You don't owe me anything. I guess I should leave you alone.
Yeah, well,
I mean, she
haven't
needs to leave
exactly
you
made
alone.
it easy for you.
Right.
I'm not doing well, okay? Really? I'm not.
Oh.
Wow. You don't get these heartfelt moments from him, ever.
Since I left. I'm gonna say since I left because this is way past last week.
Since I left?
Last week was just a trigger.
Let me show you something.
You about to video call?
He wants to video chat.
Okay.
Oh, wow. This is, Did I ever tell you the story of the Lookout? It's a very special place for us. We were driving, Alex, you and I. It was a really hot day.
I know I just ended it in the most awkward place ever, I know, but I do have to prepare to leave, and I've already reached the next 25% mark of what I said I wanted to do. So we are 53% complete of the story, as you guys can see, and we're going to come back to it and hear the rest of Alex's story. Okay? Agreed? Shake on it. Agreed. All right, so as y'all saw, we met Diane, we met Alex, and we're gonna still continue hearing out Alex's story. I honestly feel like Junon and Alex can figure out a way to work things with each other if they really want to, but I just feel like they still need that time apart. They still need that time apart to heal individually. Like this conversation they having now will be the perfect start because they're healing together right now. They're hearing each other out, hearing each other's side when they couldn't really hear it at the time where emotions were high. So I feel like this is a perfect first start into if they would like to get back together. And if it's meant for them to be back together, they will heal separately for sure and then come together in the end. But for right now, I just feel like it's a lot still going on for them where she can't it wouldn't be smart honestly for them to hop into it because you already heard him, oh, I'm gonna leave Pauline, and it's just like they keep having these contradicting conversations with each other. Like at one moment they understand and they're back at each other's throat, and it's like, I'm there for you, you were there for me, da 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 da. I didn't want you there for me, but you needed to be there for me. It's just too much, and I feel like they still have some healing to do. So I'm very interested who we're gonna meet next, who along this story. We've only heard about Marie, Deanne, Alex, and Astrid. And it seemed like she's writing this story as a healing so for herself to just let everything out. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe she don't know who her daddy is. So I don't even think her dad will be the next character we meet. But I feel like in the end, this game is going to have us choose after listening to her story that should we pull the plug or keep her mom alive? Oh no, I still don't know. But this is a very interesting story and they almost had me cry. So yeah, I'm gonna see you guys I was about to say next week. I'm gonna see you guys on the next episode. Okay. If you're enjoying this, thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already. And I'll see y'all